Hey, what's up, guys? I know, I never posted the video about the Blazing Challenge. Truth is, I never actually did it. Never really got around to it, didn't have time. So at this point, I, keep watching out. That will be coming up here within the next maybe couple months. Could take a couple weeks, depending on when I actually have the time and money to do it now. But over the next several months, I'm going to be trying to recreate several experiments. The first experiment I'm going to go ahead and explain today. The first experiment is a recreation. This one's going to be the hardest to recreate. It's also the most dangerous. I'm going to attempt to recreate the Philip Zimbardo Stanford prison experiment. For those who actually know what that is, you know how dangerous it is. You know that they, out of the 2-week period that they were going to do the experiment, they had to stop after 6 days. The reason they had to stop after 6 days is because the prisoners were actually were on the verge of suffering a mental and psychotic break. I want to complete it for the full 2 weeks, even if it means, me being the prisoner. But pretty much the basic idea of the Stanford prison experiment, and, I'll go more into detail with it once I actually start the experiment. But the basic gist was, Professor Zimbardo at Stanford had gotten 12 psychology student volunteers. Some of them weren't even psychology students. Some of them were just volunteers that responded to the newspaper ad that he put in the paper. And what had happened was, he went through several interview processes, and got the number down to 12. All these 12 students were, in no way, shape, or form mentally ill. No depression, no anxiety, no bipolar, nothing like that. They wanted the perfect candidate for a prison, and they wanted to see what the effects of a white collar person per se going to prison would be. So what they did is they took half the students randomly drawn to be prison guards, and half the students randomly drawn to actually be prisoners. They had the local police pick up the prisoners. They booked them just as if they were regular criminals, held them in the holding cell until the jailers came, picked them up, and blindfolded them, put them in a van, took them to the Stanford psychological department or psychology department. Where in the basement they had recreated a prison-type setting with cells and a solitary confinement cell. And so what they did is they went through the whole process of, stripping them naked, delousing them, degradation, humiliation, just constant humiliation. They made it as real as possible. In the end, the prison guards, after 6 days, that's it, after 6 days, had turned sadistic, and the prison guards, or the prisoners, were on the verge of suffering a mental and psychotic break. So they were forced to stop the experiment. I want to recreate it and do it for the full 2 weeks. Is that going to happen? I don't know. There's a lot of hoops to go through nowadays to actually do that. But, I'll let you know either way in the months to come. Thanks. Love you.